If your heart is tired tonight, if your thoughts are heavy with what might happen tomorrow, I want you to know this. You are not alone, and God is nearer than your next breath. You do not have to carry the weight of the future by yourself. Right now, in this very moment, you are allowed to rest. Perhaps you are listening with a quiet ache inside. You smile for others. You do what needs to be done. But when the noise fades and the day slows down, there is a tightness in your chest, a whisper of fear that asks, what if it all falls apart? What if I can't handle what comes next? You might feel anxious about your family, your finances, your health, your job, or simply about the unknown. If that is you, hear this gently. God sees you. God understands you. You are not unseen, and your fears do not make you less loved. So many of us live with a hidden battle inside. On the outside, everything seems normal, but inside, there is a countdown of worries. What about tomorrow's meeting? What about that test result? What if the person I love walks away? What if I fail? What if the door stays closed? Our minds travel ahead into days we have never lived, replaying scenes that have not happened. We rehearse pain that may never come. And little by little, the joy of today is stolen by the fear of tomorrow. Into this tender place, God speaks a different word. God does not shame you for being afraid. He does not turn away because your faith feels small. Instead, He calls you closer. Jesus once said, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Rest in God is not an escape from reality, and it is not a lazy refusal to care about life. It is a surrender of what we cannot control into the hands of the one who holds all things. It is trusting that God is wise when we are confused, strong when we are weak, and steady when everything around us shifts. One of the deepest struggles of the human heart is the desire to control tomorrow. We make plans, we calculate risks, we try to protect ourselves from every possible outcome. Planning is not wrong. Wisdom and responsibility are beautiful gifts. But when our planning becomes a cage of fear, when our minds never rest because we are trying to predict every danger, something inside us begins to break. We were not created to be gods over our own future. We were created to walk with God, one day at a time, hand in hand. In Scripture, we are gently reminded, "Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself." God is not saying that your concerns are silly or unimportant. He is saying that you were not designed to carry tomorrow's weight with today's strength. Tomorrow is a place where He already stands. He is there before you arrive. When you reach what you fear, you will find that God has gone ahead of you and prepared a way. You only receive grace for the day you are in, not for every imagined future at once. Resting in God means accepting that His presence is already waiting for you in all your tomorrows. Right now, as you listen, you might feel your body holding on to tension. Your shoulders are tight, your jaw is clenched, your thoughts are racing in circles. Take this moment as a holy invitation. Gently slow your breathing. Inhale and silently say, "Lord, I am here." Exhale and silently say, "I give you my tomorrow." Again and again, like a soft rhythm in the soul. You do not have to fix everything in this moment. You only need to place it piece by piece into God's hands, trusting that He knows what to do with what overwhelms you. Perhaps nights are the hardest for you. When the light fades and the world grows quiet, your mind grows louder. You lie down, but your thoughts do not lie down with you. You scroll through your phone for distraction, but the unease still lingers underneath. You remember past mistakes, worry about future outcomes, and feel alone in the dark with your fears. The clock moves forward, but your soul feels stuck, and rest seems far away. Yet even in the stillness of the night, God is not distant, He is not asleep, and He has not forgotten you. The Holy Writings tell us that God is near to the brokenhearted, that He neither slumbers nor sleeps. Imagine, just for a moment, that God sits beside your bed like a loving Father, watching over you in the quiet. You may not feel anything dramatic. There may be no sudden wave of emotion, but His presence is real, steady, and gentle. He whispers, "In peace you will lie down and sleep, for I alone make you dwell in safety." This is not the safety of a life without problems, but the safety of a soul held securely, even in the middle of uncertainty. In your daily life, resting in God can look very simple. It may mean pausing in the middle of a busy day, closing your eyes for a brief moment, and saying, "God, I do not know what will happen next, but I choose to trust you." It may mean writing down your worries on a piece of paper, then slowly, prayerfully surrendering each one to God. Here is my family, here is my job, here is my health, here is my fear of the future. As you place them in His care, you are not denying their importance. You are acknowledging that His wisdom is greater than your understanding. Before we continue, if this message is speaking to your heart, I gently invite you to subscribe to this channel, to like this video, so it can reach others who need comfort, and to share your prayer requests or reflections in the comments. It would be an honor to pray with you and walk this journey of faith together. Now let us go deeper into what it truly means to learn to rest in God without fearing tomorrow. Resting in God is not simply a moment of relief, it is a way of living. It is a posture of the heart. It is the quiet decision, repeated many times, to lean back into God's love instead of forward into your fear. This does not happen all at once. It is a gentle process, a gradual unfolding, like the slow opening of a flower in the morning light. Think about how a child rests in the presence of someone they trust. They do not understand all the details of how life works. They do not know the number of bills to be paid, the challenges ahead, or the fragile balance of the world. They simply lean into the one who loves them, believing without analysis that they will be cared for. In a similar way, God invites us into a childlike trust that does not demand to see the entire map, but is willing to walk step by step with the one who knows the way. This is not naive. It is holy dependence. You may say, "But I have been disappointed before. I have prayed and waited, and things did not turn out as I hoped. How can I rest in God when I do not understand His timing?" This question is honest and sacred. God is not threatened by your confusion, and He is not angered by your tears. Sometimes His ways are hidden from our eyes. We do not see the full story. We only see a single page, and from that one page, it is hard to trust the whole book. Resting in God, even here, means believing that His love is still true when life is not easy to explain. It means saying, "Lord, I do not see, but I choose to stay with you. I will not walk away from your presence, even when I do not understand your plan." There's a quiet strength that grows in the soul that learns to surrender outcomes to God. This does not mean passivity. You still study, you still work, you still make choices, you still seek wisdom. But you release the illusion that you can control every result. You do your part faithfully, and then you rest the results in His hands. When things go well, you give thanks. When they do not go as you hoped, you bring your disappointment to Him, not as a barrier, but as an offering. In both joy and sorrow, God remains your resting place, not the changing circumstances of your life. One of the most beautiful images of resting in God comes from the way He provided daily bread for His people in the wilderness. They were not given a month's supply all at once. They received what they needed for that day. Tomorrow's bread would come tomorrow. This daily rhythm taught them to trust, to wake up each morning and believe again that God would provide. In your own life, God may not show you everything that is coming. He may not answer every question today, but He gives you what you need for this moment. The strength for this conversation, the courage for this decision, the comfort for this particular sorrow. Tomorrow's grace will be there when tomorrow arrives. To rest in God without fearing tomorrow is to live fully in the gift of today. It is to notice the quiet blessings that are easy to overlook when you are lost in anxious thoughts. The warmth of sunlight on your face, the sound of a loved one's voice, the simple gift of breath moving in and out of your lungs. These small graces are like whispers from God, reminding you that He is here, now. When you give thanks for today, your heart slowly loosens its grip on the unknown future. Gratitude opens a space where fear begins to fade. You may not be able to silence every anxious thought, but you can learn not to follow each one into darkness. When a fearful thought about tomorrow arises, you can gently notice it and then turn it into prayer. Lord, here is my fear. I place it before you. I choose to trust that you are already in my tomorrow, preparing a way, working in ways I cannot see. Slowly over time, this becomes a new habit of the heart. Worry becomes a doorway to prayer, and prayer becomes a pathway to peace. There will be days when your faith feels strong and steady, and resting in God comes easily. There will also be days when it feels like all you can offer is a fragile whisper, God, help me. Both kinds of days are held by the same faithful Father. Your rest in Him is not earned by perfect confidence. It is received by simple honesty. You do not have to pretend to be fearless. You only need to be willing to bring your fear into God's presence, instead of carrying it alone. As you continue to walk this journey, invite God into the ordinary rhythms of your life. Ask Him to meet you as you wash dishes, drive to work, study, care for your children, or sit in the quiet of an empty room. Let your routine become a sanctuary, not because your life is free of problems, but because God is with you in the middle of them. Over time, you may begin to feel a gentle confidence growing inside, not based on what tomorrow holds, but on who holds tomorrow. Right now, as we come toward the close of this time together, allow yourself to rest. Let the future remain unopened for a while. You do not need to live tomorrow today. Place your hands gently in your lap or open them as a sign of surrender. And imagine putting every concern, every person, every unknown outcome into God's loving care. He has not brought you this far to abandon you now. His eyes are on you, His heart is for you, His presence surrounds you. May your soul feel the quiet assurance that you are safe in the hands of God, even when you do not know what comes next. May you sleep in peace, rise with hope, and walk through each day with a deep awareness that you are not alone. May His love steady your thoughts, calm your heart, and soften your fears. In every tomorrow that you dread, He is already there, waiting with grace, strength, and tender mercy. Rest now, beloved child of God. You are seen, you are held, you are loved, and in His perfect time and His gentle way, He will lead you day by day into the future He has prepared. Amen.